Welcome to PeopleTools Tech Tips. I'm Randall Groncki. Today, we're going to put a PSQuery link inside an Insights data table. If you're still with me, welcome. You must be looking for a way to put more data, more context into your Insights data tables. Insights data tables show the detailed data behind the visualizations in a spreadsheet-like format. They respond to the selection and filtering with the rest of the dashboard because they themselves are visualizations just like a bar or pie chart. But data tables are not spreadsheets. We can't expect unlimited rows and columns. They are visualizations based on buckets, and there is a bucket limit. Every row and every column is at least one bucket. Work with a large data set or try to show lots of columns and we quickly hit our bucket limit. You may have tens of thousands of rows feeding your dashboard, but can only fit a few hundred rows of data inside your data table before it crashes. I know users always want more, but sometimes more isn't better. Too many visualizations and too much data on a dashboard tend to dilute their usefulness rather than deliver insights and understanding. Quick, what time is it? I consider Insights a visualization tool, not a reporting tool. Confuse the tool and things can go wrong quickly. But we do have options. Instead of putting 130 columns of data into an Insights data table, how about putting a link to a PSQuery that will show all the data on demand in a new browser tab? I'm going to show you how to do that. The scope of this video is to demonstrate how to put a link to the PSQuery viewer as a column in an existing Insights data table. Designing visualizations, populating them with data, and building the dashboards are beyond this scope. All of the objects and dashboards used in this demonstration are available on PeopleToolsTechTips.com and our GitHub site, PeopleTools Tech Tips. You can download the objects and apply to a PeopleTools 8.6.1 or higher environment to follow along and look into our code examples. Before we start, let's see where we're going. Here's our simple Insights dashboard showing grades and steps. The last column of the data table has the PSQuery link. Click that link for the row with employee KU0086 and PSQuery runs to a new browser tab keyed specifically for that KU0086 employee's data. This is a query link embedded into an Insights data table. Here again is our Insights dashboard, a nice stack bar with a data table. We already have 8 columns in our data table, but the user wants a whole lot more. Our problems are real estate and columns. The grids are not made for all that data. We can't add another 50 or 60 columns to this table. What we can do is add a link to PSQuery. And the query can have all those fields. So, how do we do that? I'm going back to Query Manager and finding the query that drives the data for this dashboard. Here's our query. Standard query that pushes data over to Insights. Let's run it. The last update date time prompt displays, and we can populate that with a date time of a long time ago to get a lot of data. And here is our data. In the far column is our unique drilling URL for each row of the query. What if we want to add a query in here? I've already created another query based on this query. Let's go see that. This is that same query as before, but without the drilling URL and without the date time prompt. Running it shows our data. What I want to do here is add a prompt on the EmployID field. Click the Add Criteria control. EmployID is equal to prompt, new prompt, OK, and OK. Go to the Criteria tab and see that our prompt is there. Run. Type in KU0106 for an employee ID and we see our results. This employee has 3 active rows, each with a different EMPL record number. Now back to the query, save, copy our query name. Go back to our original query that powers the search definition and go to the Expressions tab. Add an expression, type is drilling URL. Then choose Query URL. we finally get to use this for something. Enter the correct portal name, most likely employee. Node name is usually the default local node. Query name, paste in our query name that we just created. For the format field, we're going to just go to an HTML page. We do have other options like Excel spreadsheet if we want. Click on the Prompt Keys button to link the keys. EmpleID is equal to a.empleID. Click on OK and we see the query URL template we just created. Click OK again. Find your new query URL from the list and click the Use this field button. Edit the field's custom properties. We're going to set the unique field name to query under text. You want to use a field name that is in the PeopleSoft but not in your current query. Change the heading text to the same name and run it to see how it's doing. Here's our results. Scroll to the right and we see our unique query URLs right next to the drilling URL. Now that we have our new query working and our dataset extraction query has been updated and working, we now need to update all our search objects with these new changes and push a new updated dataset over to OpenSearch. First, undeploy our search definition. Update our search definition, go to the Map Search Attributes page, and reload. Find your new query link field and check it for indexing. Save, and move on to your search category. Go to the Advanced Search Fields page. Your query field should already be here. If it's not, uncheck and recheck the Auto Detect Common Fields box and see if it pops up. Redeploy our updated search definition. And finally, schedule a search index to send this updated dataset with our new query link over to OpenSearch. When it's completed successfully, navigate to the Insights Dashboard homepage. The first thing we need to do is refresh our index pattern to bring in the new query field. Click the refresh button in the upper right corner of the page and then ensure we see the new query field. Find our query field and click the edit icon. Change the format to URL, type is link, ensure the Open a New Tab option is selected. In the label template field, give the field a label. Unfortunately, this label cannot be dynamic as of this version of OpenSearch. Save these changes. Now, let's go back to our data table visualization. Add a split row. Aggregation is terms. Field is our new query link. Bucket size is 1. Update the visualization and see that the new query link column has been added. Save your changes to the data table. Now let's go back to the dashboard and the data table shows the new query column. Click on that query link for KU0086 and the query results display in a new browser tab with all that employee's active Emple records. And our drilling URL link still works. It still opens the job component for that chosen employee. So that's it. We just added a query to the data table in much the same way we already added the drilling URL. And you always wondered what those other options for drilling URLs were for. What current dashboards do you have that you could benefit from an embedded query? Thanks for watching. Please consider subscribing to our channel and we'll see you next time here on PeopleTools Tech Tips.